script, and he said, I want to come and meet you. And I said, of course. Another interesting thing that KK and I have been trying to work for the last 20 odd years, but it has never gone through. And I was really, really desperate to work with him on this one. And he met me and he said, what about Ismail's character? Have you cast it for him? I said, no, not yet. So he's like, I would be really kind of keen. And I thought that was fantastic of him, because the character has multiple shades. It's not a very black and white narrative that Renzel and the writers have put together. It plays in the grey areas. What is really interesting is that we have stripped people of the labels of relationship and treated them as individuals. So it is a man versus man, not necessarily a father versus father. So the power dynamics really kind of change. It so happens to be about providing. The one who provides becomes the alpha of the family, and how those dynamics change between two men, and the repercussions that the family as well as the city on a macro level has to suffer. So that is what it's about. Pari was fantastic because we wanted to cast
you made me audition 3 times.
Yes.
3 times.
Yes, we did. And Nivedita is wonderful. She's a great theatre actor, and we thought, and I saw her audition, and I knew that she would be, because there was a very specific kind of language that everyone needed to speak to transport into the authenticity of the world in terms of the community as well. Kritika was the last one to come on board, and this was post the first wave of COVID. And I must say, I've really been fortunate and blessed to have the entire cast, not just the ones who are sitting on stage, also the ones who are sitting in the audience and who are not here. I think each one of them, my writers Hussain and Abbas Dalal, who worked on the body language workshops, how they would walk, how they would sit, also in terms of the language. So there was a really tight brief given to everyone that you are the hero of your story. So let's not try and outdo each other, although yes, I'm sure the actors would want to impress KK. But each one has done a magnificent job. I think once you all watch the series, you'll understand the dynamics of it.
Thank you, and we can't wait for the layers to unfold. And what are your views on the same, the entire casting process?
Well, I think when Shujat is quite a taskmaster. He looks very serene and calm right now in this denim jacket, but he is quite a taskmaster, and he doesn't settle on things easily, and I like that about him. I really think and I keep telling him, you shot this like a dream, and he's not one to take the easy way out. So everyone on the stage really has reached the stage. They're obviously brilliant actors, but I think it was painstakingly done, this period of choice, and I think it's paid off in spades.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And Ritesh and Kasim, my next question is for you. This show, as from the start, we're saying that it will be presented in over 30 languages all over the world. What are the expectations and how do you feel about that?
As a genre, crime drama, gangster stories, they cut across diaspora. We've all grown up on various crime story in various different languages. We were very confident when we were making this that it's going to sort of cut across Indian diaspora and go far and wide. Amazon Prime has been great partners, and they're sort of leaving no stone unturned to put this out there in a big way. Thanks to the entire.
Thank you, Ritesh.
I think what Amazon has managed to do is this time, I think the language, dubbing it in so many languages. I think because there is, it's not that every show lends itself. I think like Kasim said, Aparna earlier, that it's just the genre goes and sits in the forefront of what people like consuming in the format we are in. And if it has a possibility, which we all believe, that it can go out of the diaspora, and I think with what happens is with language also, there are a lot of people sometimes with the subtitles don't get into it. There are a section. So I think they are even now going within those 240 countries to try to get in that audience. Maybe they would not want to. I'm sure it's subtitled in a lot of languages as well. So I think it gives it, and if you have I think what happens is you have an opportunity with an amazing story like this, written by Hussain Saab, who's here, and you have such amazing actors. So you have an opportunity of taking your talent both in front and behind the camera and showcasing it to a global audience. So I think, yeah, my expectation is after the 14th in 1 week, Aparna calls me up and says, Ritesh, do season 3, 2 and 3 immediately. That's the plan.
Partners in crime, going global
correct.
hand in hand. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Congratulations on that. Renzo, coming back to you, tell us about the world building of the show. What the research was undertaken, the entire creative process of building Mumbai of the 70s and the characters, the looks, the different arcs the series has.
I think one of the high points of the show is and I think that's where the genesis of the name also comes. When you say Bambai Meri Jaan, is that it's not just a crime thriller, it's also chronicling the rise of the city and hence the organized crime within the city. So as the city kind of sprawled out through the decades, so did these fiefdoms, these gangs. You see the turf wars between them, and finally you reach the point after the 60s and the 70s to the 80s, where you actually have the beginnings of what you can now call organized crime. So I think the world building, a lot of it is, while it's a fictional show, a lot of it is also in the public domain. And I think people like Shujat and me or Bombay Boys, we've heard this as we've been growing up, right? We've heard the stories about these gangsters, we've heard the story about the underbelly. And so when we create this piece, this fictional piece, I think the world building is something we've lived with. So it comes easily to us. And also there is then, a lot of crime reportage that you can delve into and, use to kind of build the building blocks of this world. As far as these characters and the look of these characters go, I think Shujat is actually a better person to ask about this.
Yeah, in terms of creating the visual world, there was extreme amount of detailing for sure, because we wanted to transport the audience